Alright guys, just want to show you what I did here. I didn't do any videos while I was fixing it because this was the first time I did it and I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it, so I didn't record anything. But I changed the lower control arm, the sway bar, and the shot and strut. I just got the one that comes in one piece because, like I said, I have no experience, no tools, nothing, so I just watched a lot of YouTube videos and I just did it. So what I did is I took off this disc brake. I didn't take any of this off. I just took this off and I just pulled this from the CD boot. And I took off the, sorry, I forgot what this is called, but if you're a mechanic, you know what it is. This bar here. I actually fixed this myself last year too. So then I took this off. And then the tricky part down here is this bolt down here. That's for the lower control arm bolt. Let me see if I can get a better shot. There we go. Ooh, right, this bolt here, it's the lower control arm that goes out. So it's hard to get to this. I saw a video of another guy, he took this guy off. You just pop right off. And then this will give you easier access to this bolt here. So I pull the disc off, and then I just I pull the axle out, and I just took this out, and then it was really easy access down there. So one of the problems I ran into, again, it's from inexperience, is I couldn't take this bolt down here off. And all was it because I was trying to use a gun. I don't do that. Use a breaker bar instead. I did that and it came right off. And also on this, let me see if my camera can show you the top. So there's a little bolt on top. So when you take this off, the bolt might go out of place. So when you put it back on, make sure the screw goes back into that bolt. It took me probably 10 minutes to get it back into there, but just make sure that happens. And another problem I ran into was because I took this off, I was putting everything back without this on, and this lower control arm was hitting this thing here of the sway bar. So what I learned is that you have to put this back on and then basically put your sway bar in last. So put your strut, this disc brake, everything on, and then your sway bar in last, because if you don't do that, then this will hit the lower control arm and you can't tighten it. Either you can't tighten this or you can't tighten this bolt over here. So after you put everything in, if you're still having problems putting the sway bar on, what I did is I put the bottom in first. I don't tighten it all the way. I just put the bolt in so that it's in there. And I turn my wheel all the way to the right. And then that made it easier for me to stick this top one in because it looked like it was kind of high up. So if you are running into that, that's another trick that I did. So to do the strut, you have to come up here. So on my car, it's a 98 Toyota Sienna. You have to take this cowl, these things off. This is here where the windshield wiper is. It looks and sounds more complicated than it is, but it's not. So don't be scared. I was super nervous doing it. Again, no experience. I was just looking at screws and I was just like pulling stuff out. I mean, I broke these pins, but these I think you can just buy from the store for cheap. And then that'll give you access to the bolt. And I also had to move the brake fluid. So I just unscrew these guys and this just moves freely. So I just put it back. I just need to put it back now that I'm done. And that's fairly easy. And then once you just put everything back on, I didn't use a torque or anything. I just hand tying this. I have to look into that to see how safe that is. So comment below if I need to torque that. My father-in-law said I should be okay without torquing it, just tying it as hard as I can with my hand. So I'm doing over there, the passenger side next. this was the driver's side. So if you see I did anything wrong, please comment, let me know. Any advice for anybody do in the future, that would be great too. I was thinking about changing these bushings too. I even bought the bushing, but I was so tired I kind of didn't do it. But it looks like this, you just take all these 2 bolts and then it just comes off. It's pretty tight in there. I did try it. It took me a while to get this one almost off, but then I gave up by tying it back in. So yeah, if you guys are trying to tackle this project, it looks really hard, but it's actually not too hard. It's just time consuming, and yeah, that's really it. So thanks for watching. Again, if you have any comments, suggestions, any tip and trick that could make it easier, let me know.